Hello and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones, and spring is springing up everywhere, even in my craft room. I am so excited today because this is the first Thrift Flip Road Trip of 2024 and I am the guest co-host together with the beautiful and lovely Sammie of Unicorn Dust Designs and the fun and fabulous Kay and Trish, fresh off of a Caribbean crafting cruise. The crafting cousins. I am so excited because I love upcycling and just, making things look prettier. So I have things that I've upcycled from around my house and things that I found on the side of the road and at church bazaars. So if you're ready, join me. I'm from South Florida and let's get this Thrift Flip road trip started for 2024. Let's go. Recently, I have been starting to sell some of my items at a church bazaars for spring. It's perfect timing. And at one of them, I found this cute little jewelry box. And, I don't like the leopard skin, but I thought it was adorable. And I found it just for $1. And I thought, after all, I'm here to support the church, so why not? And it was a lovely little girl that was selling stuff so that she can save money to buy some books that she likes. So I thought, hey, that was really cool. So I decided to start taking apart this chair. And yes, believe it or not, I'm going to cover it in moss. I thought of covering it in all these beautiful Shabby Chic, floral, beautiful fabrics. And I finally ended up with a moss. Go with me here. I thought it would be cute as a fairy's throne. I don't know. That's how I saw it. And besides, I just thought, well, it's already in leopard skin. What's the worst that I can do to it? And yes, the worst that I can do to it is adding moss. So all I'm doing here is adding moss in these moss sheets. And I bought this one actually on Temu, but they also sell these at Hobby Lobby and other hobby stores, I'm sure, like at Michael's and stuff. And it was the easiest way to use the moss on this chair. Now, the fabric that I used, or the moss that I used, had this very heavy, thick black felt on the back of it. And I noticed that if I ripped the felt off, it was much easier to maneuver and to place onto the chair. And it wasn't as thick, so it was easier to keep the original, shape of the chair. And I love the heart shape. It's also, I don't know why, it also is reminiscent to me of Alice in Wonderland. This would be something that the Queen of Hearts might sit in. So I thought that was also another nice connection, since I do like Alice in Wonderland. So all I'm doing here is covering each one of the parts. So, first the top front, and then I'll do now the chair. And one thing to remember, and I don't know if I showed it before, but this little chair does open up and it has a cute little mirror, which I cleaned up afterwards, but it's a perfect little storage area just to, hold some knickknacks. It's perfect to have right by my bedside for those earrings I forgot to take off in front of my jewelry box. What's funny is I have seen jewelry boxes like this at Ross and TJ Maxx, and they've been on clearance before, but I just didn't like the fabric, and I'm so silly because I should have known better. I could have changed the fabric. Even if you find a small little jewelry box, let's say that's round, you can make the back of this chair very easily. It's just cardboard and you can shape it as a heart, just like this one is. And yeah, I don't use tools properly, but I thought this was the easiest way to glue with the hot glue without burning myself too much, is using that little spatula that I had close by. Does that happen to you? Do you just grab the nearest tool and keep working? You don't stop and look for the appropriate tools, or maybe just look for, I know I have those finger covers and I never seem to find them when I need them. So last but not least, I'm finishing up the bottom of that little throne, and I'm just adding this little piece of moss. And then at the very bottom, I'm using the part of the moss that I didn't use, which was that felt, and I am covering the bottom so I don't have to see that leopard print. I don't know, do you like animal prints? I don't know if I'm really into leopard prints. Maybe in the 80s I was, but not anymore. And now I am embellishing with these cute tiny little ladybugs. Don't ask me where I found them. You just find things, they pop up in your craft room, you don't question why. You're like, oh, I'm just glad to have them. And of course, a little mushroom, because that is perfect for a cottagecore. and just adding some little blossoms and blooms to make this little throne complete. And I'm so happy because I love to collect vintage and, you know, an antique, how can I call it, botanical jewelry or flowered jewelry that was very big, and especially enamel jewelry. There's a lot of flowered enamel jewelry out there, and I think this came out just darling to have all of my lovely antique jewelry. At that same bazaar, I found this other little jewelry box which I thought was absolutely adorable, and I have to tell you, I was going to cover this in moss as well, but suddenly it spoke to me and it didn't want to be covered in moss because I thought it would be cute to have the chair and this little jewelry box matching, but the jewelry box did not want to be covered in moss. Now, you're probably asking me, why am I painting with, you know, it's a very similar color. I wanted to get rid of those green lines all around, and I started painting it because, you know, with the little handles, because I couldn't get the handles off. And eventually I got the handles off, but they broke. They were so brittle. I think this was at least from the 2000s. It had this, like, it wasn't green, it wasn't beige, it wasn't gray. It just was a very drab color. So I just decided to spruce it up and add some folk art paint and matte. Now they have this matte paint that's almost like chalk paint. So I kind of like it because it covers really well, just, you know, with 2 coats. And I like this color. It's like a creamy, I don't know, like a creamy, I don't, it's not taupish, it's just a sweet color. I like this color. Now, I took off those handles, and Luna is my little, you know, quality control cat, is here to make sure that I do this right. I had this lovely paper that I got from Temu, and I thought this would be perfect for a shabby chic inspired jewelry box. So I'm going to decoupage the fronts of each one of those little drawers with this paper. I just thought it was such a beautiful, beautiful paper. Now, I really had so much fun putting this little jewelry box together. Now I'm ripping the sides of the paper and ripping each one of the drawers. I don't know about you, but especially when you're doing shabby chic and when you're doing decoupage, I think ripping the paper just looks so much more organic. It looks so much more fun. So that's what I'm doing here. And that little pen that you see, I got that at the Dollar Tree, and it just has a little bit of water in there, and it makes, you know, marking off the area so much easier. Just marking it off instead of having to dip the pen, you just press on the pen and voila, the water comes out. And the way I decoupage is I put the Mod Podge on the paper, or I put some on the paper and on the drawer, and then I let it dry a little, and then I use a heat press, or like my little, my mini iron that I got from HTV Ront. And that's how I try to eliminate the majority of wrinkles. I can tell you, ever since I've been starting to use this little tiny iron, and you've probably seen me use it a lot lately, because it actually works to eliminate a lot of the wrinkles when I'm decoupaging. I wanted to continue this decoration of roses and flowers on the sides of the jewelry box because it just had these wonderful blank empty sides. I'm telling you, this jewelry box was screaming at me to have some flowers placed on it. Not moss, but flowers. So I'm using some of this Tim Holtz decoupage paper, which I love, and I'm running short of soon. I think I'm down to maybe a yard of this paper left. No, less than that. Just a couple of feet left of this paper, and I've had it for like 3 years. So it was very worth the value. But now I'm interested in getting some of those new IOD transfers. So might have to invest in those. A nice birthday present for myself, since my birthday is coming up in April. Anyway, here I am adding that beautiful paper, and I love it because the prints are nice and small and perfect for small items like this little jewelry box. And there you can see it looked messy because I didn't wait for it to dry. See, here's a lesson. Annie, you should have waited for that paper to dry a little more, and it was completely wet. But don't worry, I will get rid of those wrinkles with my handy dandy little iron. Now I know they sell this at they sell it on Amazon, they sell it on Temu. You can actually use a large regular iron if you wanted to. Just you have to put it at a very, very low temperature, and that's what I like about this little iron. For me, it's very handy to have it right there in my craft room because I'm constantly decoupaging. It's very rare when I don't decoupage something. Has it been a time that I haven't decoupaged? I don't know. I think I've always decoupaged something in my videos because I love decoupaging. It's so much fun. Decoupage. It's very French. It's to decorate with pages. There you go. Decoupage. Anyway, and I continue with the adding of more and more flowers. There's more flowers and more flowers. This can't be more springy if we tried because it's just full of flowers and I love it. From the paper stack that I used for the front of the drawers, this is another one of those pages and I love it. It's just so vintagey and antique-y, and I had this little sign and I said, oh my goodness, I have to include this sign on the side of my little, my little jewelry box here. So once again, and I'm using the wet I'm using the wet brush, even though my other little brush is sitting right there. Don't ask me, you know how it is. You just grab the first thing when you're just crafting away. So I wanted to add this to the side of my drawers. However, I did want to, I don't know, it was too heavy a paper. So here's a little trick if you didn't know. You just use some of this packing tape and you put it on the paper and you rip it off, and it actually takes a layer of the paper right off, making it more malleable and softer and easier to work with, especially for decoupaging. So here's the process again. It's really easy. Just smack the tape on and you rip it off. You rip it off slowly because I did rip some of I would rip off the paper first and then cut the area that you want later, but I actually like the way it turned out. It actually made it look more vintage and I love it. So if you ever have a problem using, heavy cardstock, use this technique and it should help make it easier for you to decoupage with that paper. So once again, I'm adding a little bit of Mod Podge. This time I did let it dry a little bit, not too much. I don't know why I was very impatient. I was very impatient creating this because I was just so excited about doing it. So I wanted to just see the finished product. Does that happen to you? So you'll see that as I work my little magic with my little iron, it actually smushes out a whole bunch of Mod Podge that was still wet on that piece of paper, but that's okay. We're gonna finish it all with some Mod Podge over all of the decoupaged area so that it seals it in. Likewise on the other side, again, the same pack of paper had this beautiful design and I loved it, and I decided to find, again, the Tim Holtz paper had the flowers that matched perfectly. Those roses matched perfectly with the roses in the design. Now I just, again, decoupaging the tissue on top of the regular paper and ironing it out. Again, I should have waited. I was too impatient, but I really enjoyed creating this, this combination with the flowers above and below that matched the flowers that the girl was holding in that painting. Now to the front of this little cabinet, once again, I'm adding some antique gold. I call it chocolate gold sometimes, but it's actually like antique bronze. It's not even gold, but I love the color because it matched so well with the paper. And yes, I apologize. I called it chocolate gold. I don't know why. I created my own, name, but it is antique bronze and it matches so well with the drawings and the designs on each of the papers. So again, I'm going to trim the whole jewelry box with this. I really like this jewelry box, but I'm also thinking, I think this would sell well. What do you think? I continued to decoupage the top of the jewelry box to match the rest of it. I was going to have, I was thinking of adding some molds made out of resin and stuff, but I just found that this paper and these roses work together so well. And then I found this sign and I thought that was so perfect for the top of this jewelry box. And I know it looks wrinkly now, but I'll work on it and you'll see that it comes out just fine. And I did add little handles. I had to buy new handles for the front of those little drawers, and you'll see in the final reveal how cute this all came together. If you've been watching my channel, I'm sure you're going to say, hey Annie, I recognize that. And yes, you should recognize this. This was one of the displays, or one of the wall decor that I created for my Alice in Wonderland installation at the Deering Estate for Christmas. And it was an Alice in Wonderland theme, but now I decided, you know, I've seen that MacKenzie Childs has something very similar and something very expensive. So I decided just to change out the flowers. Now, if you want to see the full video of how I created this, please check out the video that will be linked right here. And if this is your first time here, can I say welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. And I am so happy to share all the things I love to craft that are shabby chic, French country, romantic, cottagecore, dark academia, light academia, all of those styles. So if that seems like something you'll be interested in, please subscribe and come back for more. It's always a lot of fun here. Yes, please help my channel to continue to grow. Now, to continue this craft, if you want to recreate this look, they do sell these little rabbit heads at Hobby Lobby. And I also have a friend of mine, Jody of Southern Seasons, that created this little rabbit head herself. So you can make this for your own home for this Easter. Here was another lucky find at the end of a church bazaar, and it was back in January, so it was nowhere near Easter, and they were getting rid of this beautiful basket for only $1. Now, I had so many ideas. I had these beautiful ornaments that I had gotten for 90% off, those mushroom ornaments you see on the side, and I was going to make it a cottagecore basket, but then I came across this cute little bunny for only $2 at Goodwill, $2, and I couldn't pass up making this into an Easter basket. But keep your eyes peeled, because more than likely after Easter I will change it into a cottagecore mushroom basket for sure. Now, this bunny was practically perfect. All he or she needed was a little wreath around his neck, or her neck actually, it doesn't matter. And I just love the colors. I don't know why this reminded me of my cat Luna, because she has that kind of coloring, and it just had this, like, I don't know, grapevine wreath around its neck. It probably had flowers that were ripped off, what have you. And I've seen these bunnies at Hobby Lobby, and they usually go for around $16. Now here's my little, look at my little collection of flowers, tiny little collection of little flowers that I can use on crafts. I decided to, you know, put them all together and organize them in this little box. So I have metal flowers and dried roses, all types of little flowers for all types of little flower decor. So all I'm doing is gluing these little flowers, and that is it for my little bunny. I think she came out very, very cute. After I added all that styrofoam to the basket, as you saw earlier, I just added some moss at the very, very top, and here goes my little bunny. She looks adorable. I'm adding some Easter eggs that I had in my collection from last year. These are purchases I had saved from last year when they go for 90% off. And now all I'm adding is some florals from the Dollar Tree. I had these lovely little yellow florals in my stash, and I know they're from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they're selling them again this year, but they're just like these mini carnations, and I think they were just so bright and sunny and fun and perfect for this basket. Again, maybe I should have added a bow. I don't know what it is with, I have so many ribbons. I should add more bows. Even around her neck I should add a little bow, but I just think it came out so adorable. So I hope you like it in the final reveal. I found this beside someone's garbage can right in my neighborhood, and yes, I get it. It's got broken glass. Luckily I got rid of all the glass. There are no shards. It's ratchet. Somebody tried to paint it to make it look like fake rust or something. Not the way we do it. It was just weird. It was just like copper paint, and there's some green paint there too. I don't know. I don't get what they were trying to do. But I decided to go ahead and repaint it, just like the same color. Simply because it was so hard to like take the glass out. I tried to take the glass out, and I decided just to repaint it on the outside a similar color. It's a little warmer of a white color, as you can see, just to give it a little bit of life. And I thought this was so perfect for spring. Now all I'm doing, there's styrofoam in there in those little pots, and all I'm going to do is add these lovely florals from the Dollar Tree. of course, I'm just going to go all out on spring, make this look like a cute little greenhouse. I also thought of putting moss at the bottom of the greenhouse, and I said, no, that's too much moss. Let's just leave it. Let's leave it clean. I thought this would be lovely. I'm going to put this in my kitchen window. Since I don't have real plants, I'm not very good. Are you a green thumb? I am like a brown thumb. I kill everything. I don't know why. But I don't know if it's also the heat here in Florida. It's like after springtime, everything just burns up and you just feel like, why did I put all these efforts? Speaking of all these efforts, I had put these purple flowers in first and I didn't like them. And then I found these cute little violets. I didn't like the dark purple with the yellow. I don't know. There's something about it I just didn't like. I wanted this soft lilac violet color. And I wanted them to look a little more realistic. The other ones didn't look too realistic. So again, I'm using very springy Easter colors, and that's the other reason why I didn't want to paint it any other color, because I figure I can change out the colors for each season. I can make them little sunflowers for summertime. I can add, you know, beautiful autumn colors for fall, and the same thing for Christmas time. I can make it like a little, oh, it could be like miniature, like little poinsettias or something, or beautiful little red roses. And here are some, I don't know what you call those roses. Are they camellias? I don't know if they're camellias. I think they are. But I love these. I love the colors. I think it all came together so well. Oh, and little Luna is sleeping there with me. I love it. And if you don't see her, Kudo is in the little box on the side, on the plastic box on the side. My little sweet companions when I'm crafting. I truly do love crafting with them beside me. And there you have it. Now let's take a look at the final reveal of all my spring and Easter thrift flips. Which one was your favorite? I can tell you mine was this adorable Fairycore little mossy throne that is also a jewelry holder, because as you can see, I collect vintage botanical jewelry and I absolutely love that I can display them like this instead of just having them in a little box. Anyway, I loved all my projects and I hope you did too, and I hope you're inspired to recreate something that you find on the side of the road, in a thrift store, or if somebody just gives you something and you decide, hey, I can make it even cuter. Anyway, I want to thank my lovely co-hosts. I have Sammie of Unicorn Dust Designs and Kay and Trish, the Crafting Cousins. Thank you so much for letting me be your guest co-host for the first Thrift Flip Road Trip of 2024. Please remember to visit their channels and all of the other wonderful videos and channels that are participating today. We truly appreciate them, and I appreciate you. I can't thank you enough for keeping me inspired week after week. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and subscribe, like, and share, and come back for more crafting fun. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye. Hello and welcome to my channel. Hello and welcome to my channel, Crafting with Me. 3, a very special episode of Thrift Flip Road Trip. Find on the side of your house or something that you were about to get away. Get away? Jewelry. Thank you again to Sammie and the Crafting Cousins Kay and Trish for sponsoring. Hey you, how you doing? I hope you're happy that we're back with a Thrift Flip full time crafting with us as we, I don't know what's the eyes. So if this is your first time here, just so you know all the things that I love to do under crafting.